Thanks and welcome to join me on the 6 p.m. news. I'm Kijang Henry at Timbe. We begin with our top stories. Government sends warning signals to indisciplined and recalcitrant teachers of secondary education in Cameroon, known as the OTs, as they embark on another strike action. Submit the names of dissident teachers for punishment, Secondary Education Minister tells regional delegates. An inter-community conflict, more than 70 women from the Mborong village in the northwest region of Cameroon besieged governor's office, protesting the atrocities committed by neighboring Ntambo village over farmland. We shall have the latest from our Northwest Regional Bureau Chief Correspondent in this edition of the newscast. And of course, the National Moon Crescent Commission is scouting the skies as Muslim faithfuls wait for the feast of the Ramadan. Those were our top stories. In a split second, we are having the news. Well, thanks and welcome to join me. I'm Kijang Henry at Timber. You can hook up with us on our Facebook page, Canal International, as well as on our YouTube platform. Now, the government of Cameroon has sent warning signals to indisciplined and recalcitrant teachers considered dissident of secondary education who intend to respect what they have called a hitherto protracted teachers' strike action. Regional delegates for secondary education across the country have been given marching orders by the Minister of Secondary Education to submit the names of those they consider recalcitrant for action that will be latest by May 5th, 2022. How the teachers have welcomed such a threat from the Minister of Secondary Education is what Hyacinth Child reports from our Yaoundé Bureau.
Firm demands from Minister Naloval Yonga of Secondary Education on the high instructions of the Prime Minister. The letter to the regional delegates signed this April 20. Indisciplined teachers to the office of the regional governors. A decision some teachers see as timely, coming to discipline teachers still following strike calls from OTS leaders after remarkable efforts from government to address their demands.
What is being done now is they are saying, no, look, enough is enough this time, and that enough is coming from the government. I'm not defending them, I'm just saying what is the truth. And may I remind you that there are some colleagues who were on strike for 2 months, who didn't work for 2 months, but who went to their various banks and got their salary without working. Should we take that into account? I think that is what the government is looking into now, saying, okay, since you keep on with the useless pressure, because I think that pressure is useless, because the government is sitting there negotiating, trying to do something. So why should we keep on going that way, doing things that way?
Other pedagogues read the move as that which can rather spark more turbulence.
What the government is about to engage in is not going to solve any problem. I think we are going to create more problems than bringing our solutions.
The approach, he insists, should rather be geared towards seeking mutual solutions without degenerating the situation.
What is certain is that within the next few days, tons and tons of names of teachers are going to flourish into the governor's office services, and some will be names of leaders, some will be names of those who are settling scores. In fact, it will take all the directions. I think what is good there for the government is to better address the issues as have been presented and bring what we call and bring lasting solutions that are sustainable.
The correspondents from government equally call on heads of schools and other members of the hierarchy to systematically serve query letters to personnel who have been noted for their misconduct.
Well, thanks very much, Hasincha, reporting there from Yaoundé on the teachers' strike action and the warning orders that have been given to the teachers to make sure they sit up. And we swing over to the northwest region of Cameroon to talk about intercommunity conflict, where more than 70 women from the Morong village in the northwest region of Cameroon have actually besieged the governor's office, protesting the atrocities that have been committed by the neighboring village, Ntambo village, over what is known as farmland dispute. Now let's hook up with Regina Leke, and of course, who has reports from our Northwest Regional Bureau Chief Correspondent Annie Collins.
There are close to 70 women who have besieged the Northwest Regional Governor's office in Bamenda. They are from Borong village in Do subdivision, and they say they have come to report some atrocities alleged to have been committed by the people of neighboring Ntambo village over a parcel of farmland.
We cannot stay in Borong any longer, which is our land. The Ntumbo people have invaded the land, destroying, burning houses, killing. As I'm standing here, they butchered my son in broad daylight before my own eyes. As I'm standing here, I've cried and I'm strong. And I've come to tell the governor that enough is enough. Either the decision should be taken and let me have peace, or we are going to stay here with him. That is what I've come to do here.
Some came along with their children and have been waiting for the governor in person, who happens to be on leave. Even the Secretary General is reported to have cuddled and beckoned on them to return home, but the angry women have stood their grounds, accusing the local administration of Ndu subdivision and Donga Mountain division of staying quiet in the face of alleged atrocities.
This is a piece of land which was peacefully cut and given to the Fonum Tumbo to work because he did not have a farmland, to work a farm because he did not have a place to work. And he was working there and respecting. But finally, they came with atrocity they could not respect. They could not respect.
Two of whom are expectant and 7 others carrying babies below 2 years old, been coping with feeding and hygiene.
People pass around and have pity on us. They give us bananas, they give us bread, they give us gâteau. That is how we have been living. As women, we know that there are some areas that we need to clean. We use tangy bottles, and then we get up very early and then go to hiding areas, and then we just clean up, and then we come back. That is how we have been living.
Unlike other protests and requests for calm being linked to the security crisis in the region, there seems to be no link between this and the ongoing armed conflict in the Northwest region.
Very unfortunate there. We move over to talk Ramadan, as the National Moon and Crescent Commission is scouting the skies as the Muslims are waiting for the feast of the Ramadan. Prayers have intensified across the Muslim community as we wrap up with the 30 days of fasting, culminating in preparations of one of the greatest feasts on the Muslim calendar. Umul Kulsumi now reports on how the Muslims are actually wrapping up with the feast.
Muslim community in Yaoundé gradually moving towards the end of the month of Ramadan fasting. In this line, the National Moon Crescent Commission is asking the Allah devotees to be watchful, to have their eyes fixed on the sky, scrutinizing for the sign, which is the appearance of the moon. The options are either the sighting of the moon on Sunday night. If not on Monday night, they will end the fast and feast the next day.
This release is to inform Muslims that we are going to search the moon on Sunday, 1st May. So if the moon crescent is sighted, Monday is going to be the feast of Ramadan. If not, we are just going to complete the account up to 30, and that means the feast will be on Tuesday.
Intensifying prayers, they say, is a call for blessings and avoidance of hellfire during these last days of Ramadan.
So we should worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intensely, and by praying, reading the Holy Quran, and making invocation, and so on. So we have to prepare ourselves on the spiritual level, which is most important. But I would like to emphasize by saying that the spiritual aspect should come first.
According to the spokesperson of the National Moon Crescent Commission, Professor Suleiman, there is also the material preparation for the Eid al-Fitr. This includes the buying of new clothes, foodstuffs, and many others for the Ramadan feast.
To me for that report there on how the Muslims are preparing for the feast of the Ramadan. Now, violence and drug addiction remains a major challenge to social workers who are grappling with the phenomenon known to be very rife in some schools. The soaring problem was the concern of stakeholders in child protection this Thursday in Yaoundé on how to contain the recurrent violence and drug addiction and consumption in some schools. Yaoundé Bureau Chief Correspondent Beatrice Ngamo reports.
Violence is flowering in our schools these past years. Instances of students attacking, stabbing, beating teachers, students against students abundant. This issue and children addiction to drugs in and around the schools, the focus of our reflection Thursday in Yaoundé. The from a study and reports from those in charge of education indicates that the children are the author.
They are consuming all those elements given by the environment, new technology and other things. They are using it without control. It is normal because they are immature.
Their immaturity notwithstanding, there is need to enlighten them.
We need to let them know that all what is presented is not positive. They have to learn to distinguish the negative and the positive elements which are presented by the environment.
And parental responsibility comes to play here.
They are learning from different sources. Parents need to know that and to be more and more vigilant so that children can be well controlled and can understand that they don't need to consume all what the society is presenting to them.
The school is not only for instruction, but proper education.
Education means the transformation of what I have in a positive way. It can be concerning my way of living in society. It can be concerning the relationship with others. It can be concerning how I'm looking at my future.
This for the global understanding of the fact that these children's rights needs to be protected. They need good education to grow well with the support of their parents as they are to be responsible leaders of tomorrow.
Well, Beatrice Ngama reporting there. Thanks very much, Beatrice. The Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Ashi Basilican III, actually inaugurated the Youth Empowerment Business Incubator in Douala. Baptized the Boris Bison Incubator, the Youth Empowerment Project is aimed at helping young Cameroonians between the ages of 18 and 35 to gain access to sustainable revenue. The Youth Empowerment Project is tailored to target youth startups in diverse domains. Before inaugurating the incubator, the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Ashi Basilican, actually presented at a workshop between private sector members on the strategy to support access of small and medium-sized enterprises and social economy to public contracts with regards to the provisions of the Public Procurement Code. And of course, that was under the aegis of the Subcontracting Partnership Exchange Bureau in Douala. Now, let's get the reactions as gathered for us by our reporter, Stefan Binak.
This institution is not only placed to ensure that they can facilitate the possibility of not only bringing together the various businesses, but at the same time, there is also the possibility of networking, but also creating this enabling environment so that they can share experience, they can also build that network. It is also another pillar in the realization of the head of state vision about developing skills of entrepreneurship in our youth. And you all remember what he said during his address to his youth on the 10th of February, just a few weeks ago, that entrepreneurship should become not only an asset for the young Cameroonian, but also a part of their passion.
We're here to hold young Cameroonians that are passionate about business and entrepreneurship, to lead them through their development, in assisting, creating jobs, alleviating poverty, and that can only be realized through knowledge, shared knowledge, and facilities. This incubator is here to help them through that journey, to realize their business ideas into a business model, into development.
Of reactions there gathered for us by our reporter Stefan Binak on the youth empowerment incubator that has been inaugurated by the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized declared go schools as they go on strike, demanding for their advanced payments by the authorities in charge. They say they are tired of unrealistic promises. Stephanie Chin completes that story.
Primary school teachers in Evudula of the Bamikim division of the Central Region of Cameroon have resumed strike action, respecting another call from OTS. They are demanding payment of their advancements since 2021 by the government. We were supposed to have our advance payment, just like the inspector said. We've been waiting for it since January 2021 until December 2021. It is supposed to be in 2 semesters, but until today, we have not seen a single dime. A movement which they have termed Go School as the students resume classes for the 3rd term. Since the year 2021, neither the 1st semester nor the 2nd semester has been paid. Worse still, the 1st semester was hijacked by the tax collector of the said city, who parades himself in the country. We are still waiting for solution. On a daily basis, no room to breathe because everyone tries to put their hand in their pockets to run the school or to get loans. Just because we avoid closing the school completely, we are only asking to be understood and for our problems to be solved. Despite the intervention of the administration, these teachers said they will not resume teaching unless their situation is addressed.
Well, thanks very much. Stephanie Chin. And of course, that report brings us to the end of this newscast. I've been Kejang Henry Atimbe, thanking you for having been there with us. And of course, wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. And of course, a happy feast of the Ramadan to all our Muslim brothers. From all of us, it's goodbye from me.